We have all been there. You get in your car, you turn the key, and instead of that engine roaring to life, you get that sad little click, 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 or, even worse, just nothing. A dead battery is one of the most frustrating things, but dealing with it, that doesn't have to be. That sinking feeling in your stomach when you realize you're stranded. It's a universal feeling, right? But here's the good news. With a set of jumper cables and just a little bit of knowledge, you can absolutely be your own hero here.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get you equipped with a super simple, totally safe, and really memorable method to get yourself back on the road in just a few minutes. No tow truck necessary.
Okay, before we even think about touching a single cable, we have to talk about safety. This is without a doubt the most critical part of this entire process because getting this wrong can be really dangerous for you and for your car. So the very first thing you've got to do is take a good hard look at that dead battery. If you see any of these signs, any cracks, any leaking fluid, if it looks swollen, or if you smell that nasty rotten egg smell, stop. Just stop. A battery like this is a hazard, and you need to call a professional.
Now, if the battery looks okay, it's time to get the cars ready. Park them close enough so the cables can reach, but, and this is really important, make sure the cars are not touching each other at all. Put them both in park and turn everything off. I mean the lights, the radio, the AC, the whole shebang. This is going to protect your car's electronics. Then go ahead and pop both hoods.
All right, here we go. This is the heart of it. If you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, please make it this 4-step rule for connecting the jumper cables.
So why are we so obsessed with the order? Well, car batteries can actually release flammable hydrogen gas. It's not common, but it can happen. This very specific sequence is designed to make that final connection, the one that might create a little spark, happen far away from the battery, which makes the whole thing much, much safer.
Forget about complicated diagrams. The key is this super simple little rhyme. Let's just say it, because this is the secret sauce. Red to dead, red to good, black to good, black to bare metal. Burn that into your brain and you are golden. Let's break that down. First up, red to dead. You're going to take one of the red clamps and attach it nice and firm to the positive terminal of the dead battery. It's almost always marked with a little plus sign. Give it a good wiggle to make sure it's got a solid bite on the metal.
Next, red to good. Just take the other red clamp at the other end of the cable and connect it to the positive terminal of the good working battery. See? The positive side of our circuit is now totally connected. All right, step 3, black to good. Go ahead and attach a black clamp to the negative terminal, that's the one with the minus sign, on the good battery. Simple enough, right? We're almost there. And now for the final, and I mean the most important safety step of all, black to bare metal. Take that last black clamp and find a solid, unpainted piece of metal on the dead car. We're talking the engine block or a metal bracket on the frame, anywhere that's away from the battery itself. And here is exactly why we do that. This last connection is the one that will probably create a tiny spark. It's normal. But by grounding it on a piece of metal far from the battery, you're keeping that spark safely away from any of those flammable gases we talked about. This is the key.
Okay, the cables are hooked up safely, they're hooked up correctly. Now for the moment of truth. Let's get that engine fired up.
So first, you're going to start the engine of the car with the good battery. Now don't rush it, let it run for a couple of minutes, maybe 2 or 3. What this does is it sends a little bit of a surface charge to the dead battery, kind of wakes it up. Then you can get in the dead car and try to start it.
Now, if it doesn't start right away, don't panic, and definitely don't just keep cranking the engine over and over. Just wait another few minutes. Let that good car keep running and charging things up a bit more. Then give it another try. If it still won't start after a few attempts, you might have a bigger problem, and that's when it's time to stop.
Once that car starts and it's running smoothly, we are on the home stretch. We just have to disconnect the cables, safely of course, and then get that battery properly recharged. And here's the best part. You don't have to memorize a whole new thing. The disconnection order is easy because it is the exact reverse of how you put them on. You start with the very last clamp you attached, that black one on the bare metal, and you just work your way backward. It's that simple. But you're not done just yet. Once those cables are off and the hoods are closed, you need to drive the car. And not just for a minute, you need to drive it for at least 15 to 20 minutes.
And seriously, don't just drive it around the block and park it. This driving time is absolutely essential. It lets your car's alternator do its job and actually recharge the battery properly.
Skipping this step is such a classic mistake, and it could land you right back where you started. And that's it. You did it. You have just armed yourself with a really practical piece of knowledge that could save you or somebody else a ton of time, a bunch of money, and a whole lot of frustration. So now you are officially prepared for one of the most common hassles on the road. And it makes you think, right? Who do you know that might get stuck in a parking lot someday with a dead battery and absolutely no idea what to do? Go on, be the hero. This is a skill that is definitely worth sharing.